All right, now that we've seen that introduction to R, we're gonna take a step back and make sure that you understand how to go and download R and get everything set up on your own computer. When you go to the R website, you will see something like this. Now, at the very top of the page, you can see links for whether you're running R on a Linux operating system, a Mac system, or Windows. And click on whichever one is applicable. And then you just want to install the base, and the most recent distribution of R will be available at the very top, and you click on that link. It should bring up an executable file right here. Save it, install it. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to go into any more here. Do let me or the TA know if you have any questions about getting this installed. Okay, once it is installed, you open it up for your first session. It's going to look like this. So in that very first set of notes, we talk a little bit about that console window, and we, I think, eventually do some computations such as this, where we can just type in, interactively do calculations within the R programming environment. The thing about this is that this isn't the best way to do, especially longer programming tasks. So if you define a vector, I'll just put in some numbers. We can observe them, we can compute the mean, we can do various things like that. However, how do we save our work? Well, we could save the console, but it's not easy. Or it's not something that we can easily save and use again. So if you go up here to File and New Script right here, it's going to open up what we call a scripting window. I always like to tile my windows, so go up here to Windows, tile horizontally after you've opened that. And here we could take the same computations. I'm going to just type in exactly the same stuff. And it's up there. Now, if we select all of this, and there's two actually ways we can go about this. We can select all, here, Control A, and then run line or selection. Or notice that there are keystroke commands here, Control R, that's what I typically do. So if I do that, the same computations appear below. You probably didn't notice that because they appeared so quickly. Otherwise, I'm going to do Control A, Control R, and I have the same process happen. Okay, so this is the easy way. Then what's nice about this is you can save this scripting window. I'm going to save it in a throwaway location. I'll put it in, excuse me, in my desktop. You have it in an R name. First try .r. You save it, and now I've saved on my desktop first try.r. I'll just delete this later because I don't need it, but I could close it. I could close my whole R session, go back, go to my desktop. First try appears again. I open it back up. I can rearrange my windows, make them look a little nicer. And Control A, Control R. I've got the same code script ready to go. Okay. This works most of the time when I run R. This is how I run it. However, for learning purposes, I really recommend using something called RStudio. Now, RStudio looks like this. You can see I've been working in RStudio today. You can see some of my output. Don't worry about the output, but just take a look at kind of the layout of this window. Here we have what you should think of as the script file. Let me go to a regular script file. These are all, there we go. Here's a regular script file, and I've typed a bunch of commands. This is for a project I'm working on right now. Down here in the lower left is the console file, or window, and this is where all the stuff I've run shows up. So for example, I could select that, do Control R, and all of this package loading is showing up in the console. Up here gives you all of your information. So this is a bunch of models and objects I've created. Don't worry too much about this. We'll learn the details of this as we go. Then over here on the right hand side are plots. So you can see I've created a lot of plots today. Those were my first tries, not very good, and then they got better, but this is another plot I created today. And you can just click through them as you get better and better plots. Then we've got information about packages. So remember those add-on packages we talked about? This is where we would go and see, well, which ones do I currently have loaded and available for use? Then we've got the help file. We'll talk about the help file later. Let's not do viewer right now. We've got files too. I don't usually worry about this one too much. The main two ones you'll really deal with are the plots window, the packages, and the help file. By the way, let me show you G. So for example, if you want to look up information about an add-on package ggplot, or actually this is a function. It used to be called ggplot, the package, now it's ggplot2. And here's a help file. Okay. Now, you can choose which one you use. You can use the regular R environment here, or you can use RStudio. The nice thing also about RStudio is say that you're having difficulty getting a function to work. Let's say you start to want to compute a mean and you realize, and you start out with a capital M. And in regular R, it wouldn't tell you this is an error, but here it gives you the hint. Oh, it really shouldn't be capital M, it should be mean, and you can just click on that and then it sets it up so you can put in your X or whatever, and it kind of gives you hints as you program. Really helpful when you're starting out. So take a look at these two here in the code in the video, and then you can decide if you want to go and download this. So here we've got the regular R, and you have to install this first regardless. So go ahead and do this regardless. If you decide you also want RStudio, just Google RStudio. You'll see products here. And you can run RStudio Desktop. There's a free license available, and you just download that and get it installed. Again, pretty self-explanatory. So let me know if you have any difficulties installing these, and after this very first set of notes, I do want you to take the time and go ahead and install both of these. For now, if you really don't want to use RStudio, I guess don't do it, but I really recommend using this right now.